My name is Mike Milligan. I'm the Executive Director of the Iowa Democratic Party, and I'm glad to be and honored to be standing here with my good friend Chuck Laudner, the Republican Party of Iowa Executive Director. I can say that Chuck and I, as well as our staffs, have been spending a lot of time together. As you know, we're working jointly on the First of the Nation caucuses this year, and today we wanted to get together to show everyone our joint caucus logo. This logo is merely a small representation of the massive collaborative effort that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party of Iowa have been working on together. And we felt like this was the best way to present to the world the First of the Nation caucuses. We will be ready on January 3rd, 2008 to host the First of the Nation caucuses. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have after Chuck speaks.
Thanks, Mike, and I'd like to echo those sentiments that we have worked together all year long on this project, and the logo, I think, is symbolic of our cooperative nature, specifically with this caucus, a historic caucus, where both parties have an open race and a wide open race. The media attention that we're getting, we didn't want to split it up between Republicans and Democrats and have two separate stories. It's Iowa first in the nation. And that is the key for us, and in the future, to keep Iowa first and hold this responsibility that we do hold dear. Everything that is caucus, we've done cooperatively, especially here in this building. The week of caucus, we're expecting somewhere around 2,000 media, and with the attention that goes with that, we want to showcase Iowa beyond partisan politics and beyond the election right at hand, but show them Iowa and Iowans and why we get to go first in the nation. And so I think, with Mike unveiling this logo, I think brings it together. It's not a Republican on the one side and Democrat on the other, that we are doing this together. And I just want to thank Mike and his staff for all the help. It's gone very smoothly for us. You might be surprised, but we've worked together very well, and we'll continue to do so all the way through this caucus to ensure that it's done right and it's a quality election, a fair election, and high profile. So we can take any questions.
There have been some talk early on that you might hold caucuses on separate nights. Are you glad you were able to join together and kind of amplify the impact by being on the same night?
Yeah, actually, we discussed all of those options on the phone, in person, every day, all the way throughout it. We had those discussions going all the way back to January about how we were going to pull this off and what the responsibilities jointly would be. When it came to the date, I mean, it was fairly obvious early on in the year that we were going to have to move as other states popped up. It seemed to have the reverse effect. As more states moved up, the more attention Iowa got. And so we were in a spot sometime in September, October, where we had to decide, which day are we going to go. There were dates bandied about, but together we made those decisions and worked them through our parties nationally. And as for our side, we're ecstatic that we're doing it together, and the attention is Iowa, that we don't divide that attention on separate days.
How difficult will it be to hold that First of the Nation status for a lot of people that like to steal some of that spotlight? We find out there are plans out there to alternate First of the Nation.
Well,
no secret that
no.
A lot of people don't care for the fact that Iowa is.
We feel that, as we always have for 35 years, the Republicans and the Democrats are going to host a quality, as Chuck mentioned, quality with integrity, honest, open caucuses. And we've been doing that for 35 years, and we're going to do it in 2008, and we think that we'll let that speak for itself. And we always have a fight to retain our First of the Nation status, but we're confident that with the performance we'll give in 2008, we will be able to do so.
I guess my question is, how much more difficult is that as time goes on? Because you hear more and more every cycle. Mm-hmm. Is it harder? Do you have to convince more people? What's your strategy? Other than the fact that we pull it off pretty well.
Well, it is hard. Increasingly every year, much more difficult. And now you actually see bills moving in Congress to address the issue. But Mike and his crew and the Republican side will both be working through their national conventions to keep Iowa first. Well, we have advantages, and they're distinct advantages. There's tradition, and it cannot be overlooked. It's not just a tradition, lighting a Yule log on Christmas Eve. This is a tradition that has, this process just didn't start a couple of months ago. It started 3-4 years ago. And so the advantage we have is that before we even get to national convention, the next presidential race will start, believe it or not. And that is why the attention that's given to Iowa early on keeps us first in the nation. Is one of the major reasons. And so we just, we have to do our due diligence, we have to do our work, and it's our responsibility as the state parties, respectively, to maintain it when we get to national convention.
And I think, speaking for the Democrats, you saw at the Des Moines Register debate, all the Democratic candidates speaking very highly of the caucuses and of the process. And we're certainly, like the Republicans, are going to be talking, continually talking to those folks and to the eventual nominee. And, they have such a positive, experience here. Iowa is unique to the country, to being able to engage in retail politics. And we think that, those folks have recognized that and I think will continue the process.
Has there been any thought to having the candidates, when they come for those early visits, sign a pledge that they will campaign in states that break the national party rules at all?
Well, I can say, those things have been discussed, some have been implemented. The problem is that is it actually something you can enforce? What's the penalty for bad behavior if you're going to follow through on that? No, I think what you do is you have to welcome them. You have to open up your political process in the counties to all of these candidates that want to run. It's long. I mean, there have been more candidates that have come to Iowa and dropped out than we currently have. So it's a long process, and it evolves as it goes on, and you have to make those calls.
Do you guys feel some pressure on caucus night to make sure the numbers come in quickly, that the numbers come in accurately, and that you don't have voting scandals or so that, because that kind of thing is the kind of ammunition others are looking for to take it away?
I don't feel any pressure at all about caucus night.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The answer is yes. We have always done an excellent job. The party's always done an excellent job reporting results, and that will not change in 2008. We have a process in place that utilizes technology and utilizes Iowans.
Can you describe it?
Similar to 2004, we have a automated process that the caucus chair in each of the 1,781 precincts in the state will report using the telephone, and they'll punch in a secret code that only they know. They're supervised by the other. This is just, by the way, the Democratic side. They will be supervised by the other precinct captains from the other campaigns, and then they will punch in a code and send in the results, and we'll get the results. Actually, we're doing the reporting here, so those results will go to the media, and in 2004 we used a similar system. We've made upgrades. It's safe, it's secure, and it's open.
I'd like to echo that. We want to get it right before we get it quickly. We want to have those checks. Our system is remarkably similar to the Democrats. It's time tested. We've used it before without any problems. So you don't fix what isn't broken. But what we add in, because all eyes are on this worldwide, we add those checks. You mentioned the check right there at the spot. The ballots are counted in front of everybody. The phone call is witnessed, and then again it's witnessed on our end where it's received, and then